Well, it's a joy to meet you this morning, Kathy.
Thanks, Joy. It's a joy this morning, too.
And I love your last name. Katie Love. I truly, you bring that with you. I mean, you not only have it as your surname, but you share that. And that's what the gospel is all about, isn't it?
It is.
Yes,
It
yes.
is. As well as my middle name is Grace. And I say my parents must have known the world was going to need it to deal with me on a regular basis. So, yep.
Well, that's beautiful. And you live in Adrian?
I do.
You were born in Adrian?
I was born in Adrian, then we moved to Blissfield.
Oh.
And then I came back to Adrian.
I love that name, Love, and living in Blissfield.
Yeah, it works.
Yes. And did you attend college here?
I graduated from Siena.
Siena. And what was your focus in?
Liberal arts.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That somehow that isn't clicking in many universities today.
No, yeah, and I still, I think it's one of those things where it's like I'm not sure what exactly I want to go into, so just kind of get some things done in.
But isn't it a beautiful, wide exposure?
It very much is.
Did you have Sister Pat Schnapp?
No, I
No,
didn't have her,
no.
no.
Any Adrian Dominicans?
No, actually.
Oh,
But I have had a lot of exposure to Adrian Dominicans, so.
yes. Even before you went to Siena?
Yeah, my great aunt was a member of the order.
Oh.
Sister Marie Urban Schwartz, so.
Oh, well, you never told me that.
Oh, you're probably the only one that doesn't know,
Oh,
Jody, but
okay.
she was.
Oh, my.
Yep, and
what a stellar woman, my.
yeah, I have big shoes to fill, but yeah.
Have sisters shared stories about her with you?
Yes, they have, and I knew her quite well because we would visit regularly. So I always joke that when she died, I said, "Yes, I don't ever have to come back again." And then God was like, "Ha ha ha!"
Here you are
every day.
Here you. How long have you been on campus? With
Almost 6 years.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
How did it happen that you knocked on the door?
I applied and never did I think I was going to apply, and it just all fell into place.
Was there an ad in the paper?
It actually was in the church bulletin. That's how I found it. So
What church?
St. Joe's.
St. Joe's here in town.
Yeah.
Is that where you serve?
No.
Served?
Well, I have been on the parish council there and helped with religious ed, and now I'm the director of religious ed for St. Joe's and St. Mary's. They're combined.
They're combined, yes. So where do you hold the classes?
We do religious ed at St. Mary's, and then sacrament prep at St. Joe's.
Oh my!
And then
on their
campuses.
on their campuses. Okay.
And then I also volunteer with the middle school program, and we're at St. Joe's for that.
Well, when do you eat and sleep?
I don't know. It works out.
Aren't you full time here?
I
Tom?
am. Mm-hmm.
Did you start out full time?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, tell the listening audience what your position is here.
My formal title is Administrative Assistant for Liturgical Ministries, but really my job is whatever is thrown at me that day.
Or whatever you stumble upon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's preparation for the liturgies and making sure you have lectors.
Yep. Yep, making sure we have all our liturgical ministers and all the supplies in chapel, and of course a priest and all those things. So,
what seems to be one of the largest challenges of your position?
You know what? I think it's always a puzzle, and there's always a piece that I'm uncertain of, and so just figuring out what that uncertain piece is and filling it. For example, we have. The population is diminishing as far as abilities in some cases. So
in attendance at the liturgies.
Yeah. So how we can get some people who probably wouldn't have volunteered before, how we can accommodate getting them to do more ministry.
What's the largest position
To fill,
fill?
probably acolyte or communion to the floors.
Mm-hmm.
Eucharistic minister to the floors is tough too.
Yeah.
A lot of walking.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, God bless you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a challenge, but it's a pretty nice one to have.
Yes. Do you have like staff meetings every week?
Every other week.
Every other week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's with?
Our staff is the music minister, Dave Rains, our director, Terry Pastora, and Father Jim, our chaplain. So
And you're probably planning for Lent right now.
we are.
Yes. You have to be ahead of the
We
liturgical
do.
day.
We have quite a few projects going on right now, including moving out of our offices for new carpet. So
Where are you going to be located?
I think we're displaced to the Rose Room for just a few days.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
just a few days? You hope.
Yes, well, we live in joyful hope.
In other words, they're going to do the first floor first.
They're going to do all 3 floors at some point.
Okay.
But for our offices, we'll be displaced for.
Oh my. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, we're
yes.
waiting.
Where's this? Where's that?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to have happened already, so we're kind of,
Oh, have
playing
some
the
free
waiting
time.
game.
And a little free.
Yeah,
free
we get to
time.
clean some files that haven't been cleaned since probably Mother Gerald was around, and
Oh, Lordy.
yeah.
Oh, Lordy. What do you do in your spare time? I mean, seriously, do you have a
Yeah.
hobby? Is there something that you
No.
like? Movies?
No, I don't really have a particular thing I do. I like to volunteer, so I take on a bunch of different projects. But I have nieces and nephews that are little, and I enjoy spending time with them.
I think it's so wonderful that we have a dentist in town whose name is Love, Dr. Love. That would draw anyone to the dentist chair.
Yes, that's my retirement plan.
Yes. And he's your brother, correct?
He is my brother.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And any others?
Yes, we have a sister,
Okay.
and so she's in the mix here too
in
town.
the area?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
But she's Love no longer.
She is not. She is not. I don't even know if people would even know that was her last name at this point, but yeah.
Have you ever gotten teased about that, or
Of course.
Oh,
Of
okay.
course. Of course. But you just take it with a grain of salt. I didn't pick it.
Yes. So before Siena, what high school did you?
Blissfield.
Okay.
Blissfield, I graduated from there.
There's a good school system around here, isn't there?
Yeah, that's a pretty good school system. I enjoyed it. Small town. My father graduated from there, so
Aye.
we had some of the same teachers.
In Blissfield?
Yes.
Oh my. And what was his position?
At Blissfield? Well, he is a salesman currently, so that's what
Oh.
he's. I've always been told that no matter how angry you are or how frustrated you are, there are 2 people you never mess with in the world: janitors and waitresses. Because janitors, because they know everything that happens in the building. And they can either be your biggest ally or your worst friend. And the same with waitresses. They can mess up your order.
That's your father's wisdom.
Yes.
And is your mother with you?
No, my mother died 5 years ago.
Oh.
Yep.
Of a serious disease?
Pulmonary embolism.
Oh my.
Yep. So
That was a shock.
it was. We had a healthy mom to a deceased mom in 6 weeks. So.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
Lordy.
Yeah, we have, my grandmother had cancer, then my mother got diagnosed with kidney cancer, and one of the complications was a pulmonary embolism, and eventually took her life. And now my sister has ocular melanoma, so 3 generations, and I'm just...
So you probably have yourself checked frequently.
I do, I'm just waiting for the day,
No.
Yeah, so...
You can keep saying, like Shakespeare said, out damn spot.
Well, it just keeps saying, I wouldn't change anything, so
Yes.
it's not going to make a
Yes,
difference. you know.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, you have a wonderful personality, and
Thank you.
you so deftly, DEFTLY, tap sisters on the shoulder and they know they better respond.
I'm blessed with people who want to volunteer if asked.
To bring the gifts up, or
Yes,
whatever the case
yes,
might
yes,
be.
yes, yes.
And how do you invite preachers?
Well, we have our solid list of preachers, and then we ask if they know anyone or if they could suggest some people as they move to campus. And from there, we ask. I've asked a few who have recently come, and they say, "I'm not ready," or "I'm doing another ministry and I don't have the time." And I totally understand that. There's a lot of things to get involved in.
Yeah, a lot of volunteers. Thank God.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
God,
yes,
in
yes.
every way. Yes.
Yeah, if it weren't for volunteers, this campus wouldn't be running. So
Do you have a favorite preacher?
I don't.
You don't? Oh,
No.
well, that's good.
I'm always challenged by someone who I least expect.
Yes. Did you hear Sister Carlene on Sunday?
I did.
Yes.
I did. Yeah. And I really like reading the Facebook reflections. They offer some challenging reflections
Who's
as well.
responsible for that? You're getting those reflections?
Mary Jones, I think,
Is
is
she?
responsible. Yeah. Yeah, at least that's who asked me. So we're going to venture out of my comfort zone a lot. I like to do the behind the scenes stuff. And so she
Well,
said,
you have a message of love. Truly.
well, you can read it and let me know, Jody.
Okay, I will. I will. I mean, that's what makes the world go around.
It is.
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
And of course, the commandment, love your neighbor.
As
As
yourself.
yourself, right.
Mhm. But you have to love yourself first.
Amen. Well, you obvious do. What was your first impression when you came to? Well, you had been to campus because of your aunt.
Yeah.
But who interviewed you?
Marilyn Winter and Bob Kelly.
And did you get the job right away?
No.
No.
Which was fine.
Yes.
I expected it was.
But
gonna
they're
take
the
some-
ones who eventually hired
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
They, along with Lou Martin, was in HR at the time. So
One of my favorites.
he was a great man. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your position has expanded drastically.
It's changed. Yeah.
Are there any sisters that you've come to depend on that are not in the immediate environs of the worship office?
Yeah, there are way too many to name, along with other associates who have just stepped up that I'm grateful for. Many of our sacristans are. Mass wouldn't happen without them. So.
You went with one of our sisters to the Southwest, didn't you?
I did.
Refresh my memory on that.
Ann Liam, Lees, and Maureen Gallagher and I lived together in El Paso.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was before the Trump administration.
It was long before the Trump. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And what was your experience there? What stands out in your mind
Well,
even today?
I think there were several experiences because I was working with Annunciation House doing hospitality ministry for the migrants coming across the border.
Oh my.
And so not speaking Spanish and then not speaking English, we had quite a few interesting interactions. But certainly changed a lot in my mind on things. And then I also had the opportunity to go help out at Centro Santa Catalina, which is Sister Donna Custich started. And that's where Maureen's ministry is. And so just meeting the families and the kids and the women who do the co-op and just an incredible amount of love and faith in that community. So.
And that was all begun, by our sisters there. I think there were two or three sisters who started that.
Yeah, it's just stunning. It sits next to a garbage landfill, and you go by the landfill, and then you come upon that, and it's just an incredible place. And they've had some hard times recently. They were seized, and they're starting to come back. But yeah.
What do you mean they were seized? Attacked? I mean.
No, there was some inside governmental takeover that had happened, and one of the former women came back to try to seize it, and there was some corruption issues and things like that. And but they're getting back on their feet again, and they're doing great things again. And the women were just not going to give it up, and so they met in a home and did the co-op out of the home, and it's incredible. Incredibly strong women, and just seeing it is very powerful.
And were you an associate before you went on this
I
trip?
was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what drew you to our associate program?
I think, I've just always had this connection with the Adrians, and it was a way to affirm it through a longer period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Starting with your aunt,
starting
Sister
with my
Urban.
great aunt, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Marie
Yeah.
Urban.
When you're a kid and you have to come visit, it's like, and then, I met many sisters, Sister Mary Jane Shallard and Sister Una, and, Sister Mary Jane Shallard get me in trouble frequently. So, and then, like I said, she died, and I said, great, my connection is done. And God said, no.
No.
So.
No. So what's the Schwartz connection?
My mother was a Schwartz.
Oh, all right.
So.
They dominate the Lenawee County
They're
area.
very predominant, yep. Uh-huh.
At least we used to tease Sister Urban about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Did you ever visit her when she was out on mission, as we say?
I did not, but I have heard stories from aunts of mine that visited in Chicago and things like that when she was on mission.
Yeah, well, you can be very proud.
Yes,
Proud
and
of her.
I'm to understand some of my uncles cleaned the academy building for a period of time. So yes. Mm-hmm.
You're stuck.
I don't know.
One of the co-workers said to me recently, I want to spend the rest of my professional life here on campus.
Yeah.
Why do you think she'd say that?
It's a great place. My mother worked at the same job for over 30 years and could have retired, but health insurance prevented that. And so she always said to me, I'm one day closer to retirement, and her not reaching retirement really struck me. And so I said, I will never work somewhere where I hate it. I just will never put up with that. And in almost 6 years, no 2 days have ever looked alike.
Oh.
So I can't
leave.
complain at all, no.
Leave.
I'm blessed.
Plus, you probably get affirmed 100 times a day.
I do. You know what I say, Jody? I'm living the dream. I am living the dream.
And we'll bring all your friends.
My friends can't believe I work here, so.
Well, train your nieces and nephews to come this way.
I
work it.
I brought the nephews a few times for coworker events, and they enjoy it. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you were 6 years. Did you get a pin after 5 years?
Last year, yeah, at the picnic, I got my pin. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, is there anything you would change on from your observation here at the DLC or on campus?
I can't think of anything, and I think part of that is we're one department, but all the departments are interconnected. And so even like small changes affect a lot of different things. And I'm glad that it's above my pay grade to make those decisions.
But you yourself have to relate to several other departments, correct?
Yeah, I think we touch a majority of them. Yeah, so we're pretty lucky. And there are some wonderful people who work here that we get to see on a regular basis. So.
Well, any recommendations for changes in the church liturgy?
I can't right now think of any I would propose. I think Pope Francis is headed in a good direction. And I think speaking out about immigration this month particularly is certainly something that's much needed. Even in the Adrian area, it's very a prominent issue. So I think we're headed in the right direction.
Aren't you proud to be part of the Dominican sisters here who focus on immigration?
I am.
Yes.
I am. I have tried to urge my parents in religious ed to speak with Sister Attracta
Wonderful.
to get their citizenship. And we're currently working with one of our catechists on getting her citizenship taken care of. So
Thank you. Thank
so
you.
much is happening in the way of progress in those ways, yeah.
Well, wait, before we leave, I want to thank you for your enthusiasm and the joy that you bring to the
Thank
sisters.
you.
I don't think there's anyone here in the DLC who doesn't know Katie. We should call you Sister Love.
I get that. Hello, sister. And I'm like, yes.
Oh, yes, you probably get that frequently.
Yes, yeah.
But that means we're related.
It does.
We're connected.
It does.
With the
I feel
Dominican-
sorry for you, but yes.
But that Dominican charism,
Yeah.
and it's just come alive in you by being here. Not that it wasn't planted by your aunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it is, yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you, Katie, for this interview, and thank you for staying with us during all of the changes of personnel.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you accepted those changes and the lack of staff.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you slept at night, but you did it
Thank you.
joyfully. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to say to the sisters now before we go?
I think it would just be keep living the dream.
Oh, beautiful.